Hello, my beautiful collective. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Lotus, Lotus the Sage. I hope you had a wonderful holiday and you are in wonderful and happy spirits as you watch and listen today. Today we have a normal pick a card, 3 piles as per usual, and we are looking into the new energies coming in for you for the new year. What to expect. What energies can you anticipate entering your life for 2025? So my beautiful collective, this is for pile 1. This is for pile 2, and this is for pile 3. I'll see you at your choice. Ciao. Okay, my beautiful collective, pile 1, this is your spread, these are your cards. This area over here is going to give us, let's say, the bulk or the main theme of what may be going on for your 2025 year, energetically speaking, maybe a whole bunch, we don't know. I think these 2 cards, I'm anticipating it to be sort of your guide as to or into how to approach or achieve what's being asked of you from spirit. Then we'll look at, what might play out, what may be happening. And then underneath here, we're not going to use it as clarifiers, but I'm using it anticipatory, like with the energies of unseen energies or the subconscious energy. All right, my friends of pile 1, let's get into it. You have Orion. It says, number 18. The great masters of Orion invite you to visit Orion in meditation or sleep to receive a download or cosmic wisdom. This is an honor, so prepare yourself with intention during the day by showering, lighting a candle, playing sacred music, or walking in nature. Then you will receive much spiritual light. Orion is the soul star chakra of this universe. You may find it helpful to ask Archangel Mariel to light up your personal soul star chakra, which is above your head, to facilitate your connection. Your affirmation: I honor the masters of Orion and visit them in my sleep. I love that for you. So it feels like, initially anyway, I think this is going to be an energetic theme throughout your whole year. However, there's going to be fluctuations and pivotal points where you, let's say, upgrade this particular lesson. Yeah. So that's what they're showing me. They're showing me in cycles for you, and they're giving me the 3-6-9 cycle. So maybe the first 3 months is why I'm saying initially. There's a feeling here of prepping yourself in a different way than you have been prior, to allow your vessel to receive the information unfiltered. That's how I just received it. So ask for it in meditation, ask for it in sleep time, talk to Archangel Mariel to open up that star chakra for more downloads to be integrated into your cellular DNA. I love that. Into your body. Speaking of your next card, you have body. And it says, show me, divine, how to love and fully care for this body. Please give me the radiant miracle of accepting my body as it is. So there's a twofold message I'm getting here on a spiritual aspect of the Orion's energy coming into your body, into your cellular DNA, into your vessel, as they worded it specifically. There is a deeper connection that wants to be had, and it feels like I said, you're prepping your actual vessel for it. This particular body could be an echo or a mirror to that, meaning that might be about just forgiving one's body, accepting one's body, of doing what one's body needs to feel whatever one wants to feel. That's a personal thing. So I think they might be semi-connected or intertwined in some way when it comes to this new ascension energy that is asking for your attention. Or asking, not even asking for your attention, that is being brought into your awareness more vividly. So these bridge cards here are a Kabbalah Tree of Life deck that I'm not super proficient in using the whole deck as it is intended. However, I'm going to read from the book the main messages on how this is going to be your sort of bridge point into how to get to what Spirit wants for you. You have the point, number 14. And it says, It is a fire suit. You are at the point of taking a creative initiative, whether you know it or not. Allow space for this to emerge. Do not take on more routine tasks than you need to. Though you cannot tease a new idea out before its time, you can recognize and respect the hidden gestation that is taking place and be ready to give it form when it emerges, which is exactly what we're talking about here. You know, you're at that point of that gestation period, waiting for this part of you to be fully integrated with this new version of you. I love that. Such moments are precious. Keep the memory of the creative spark in mind, and it will help you when times are bleak. Possible meanings: creative activity, a discovery, the arts, a new impulse, a source of energy still in its early stages, a sexual attraction, a possibility of a new relationship. Lovely, all these things of life. And then we have the victor, which is interesting because they're kind of in the same family of number 7. So 7, 14, 18, 9, 5. The victor is also, of course, the fire suit. And it says, you may be enjoying a moment of triumph, but there is a new challenge around the corner, so be ready to face it when it comes. No permanent stability is ever created by winning. The wheel turns again, and the winners and losers change places. You must decide whether to fight to keep what you have or to give in to the change and look for fresh potential within that. Possible meanings: success, triumph, conquest, responsibilities that you must take on because of your success. Someone who has usurped you, a person who can act on your behalf, a champion, settlement of a dispute. So my lovelies, this feels like, you know, the practicality of what might be going on throughout your year in 2025. This point of gestation, this change within, coming out of a particular type of success, or understanding, like they said, it's not in the way that you have been prepping for the spiritual upgrade or ascension energy. It's something I don't think that you're really going to expect or anticipate in the way that it is delivered to you. There's a lot of, again, fire energy, a doing here, of creative impulse, of action. Lovely. Let's see what the tarot has to add. We have the 6 of Wands, Maiden of Swords, it's like the page, 2 of Wands in the reverse, Speaking of this victory energy, I do feel like you're stepping into 2025 very like confident, like they said, like successful. You've come from a period, or at least the last little bit, there's been a leveling up in some other particular area of your life. And there's now a more of a, I feel, a stronger focus on your creative impulses and how you try to present that into the world, especially with this new version of you, because there is a gestation period that is needed based on what's coming here. And again, in the beginning, maybe because we are sitting in some of our past successes, you know, that we have this space now to allow us to think about how we move forward. That might be very well the issue, or the energy here, excuse me, not even the issue. But with this 2 of Wands here in the reverse, I'm really feeling like, again, they were talking about something might need to get shifted, or sort of passing the baton, and then you creating something else out of that kind of energy too. So there's a new plan that has to come into effect here at some point based on the knowledge and success and energies you've had from your past. The 8 of Wands. Yeah, a lot of fire energy, a lot of speed in your reading here. And then we have the 8 of Swords, that slow down energy. Yeah, that makes sense for me here. Because as we can see, because they're talking about initially, right? Like the beginning is like, there's a lot of like push, of fastness, of fire, you know? And then even in this 8 of Wands energy, where there's like light in this darkness here, which I feel more specifically for you feels like a spark of an idea. So like something comes out of this you know, this pause moment here of replanning, renegotiating, or, you know, redirecting in some capacity that breeds the spark that leads you to this, hold on a second, I need to pause for a second. I don't feel like this Eight of Swords is so intrusive in the way that it can sometimes feel. Maybe we might be overwhelmed with thoughts not having a way to get out, and maybe that might be it. Maybe you are not having a clear understanding of how to bring this particular thing into fruition. Why Spirit is saying there's a gestation period. There's a sense of needing to sit in the body, a point of needing to be in the body for victory. And it also can be you over worrying about something that you actually already have the knowledge in. So it might be worrying for no reason. Like creating worry out of nothing when you actually have the tools to do whatever because you've already done it. You know, so that's a variable for your energies coming up. But it does feel like really lovely. Like this impetus does feel good, but there is going to definitely be a pause or a moment of reflection and redirection in some way that is still fruitful for you, I feel. I don't think that there's anything particularly, you know, cautious here. I think it's more specifically just your perspective on where you've come from to where you're going. That might be the hindrance for you, you know? Interesting. I'm going to split the deck just to see what's an extra card here. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. Look at that. Yeah, my friend, I don't think you really have to like worry, you know, per se. There's nothing I'm feeling about that. It's mostly just about, okay, new direction. This is good. This is very like lively, like I said, energetic, creative, and inviting is what it feels like for me. Okay, my lovelies. Yeah, okay, sorry. Spirit has paused me here for a second. There's a wisdom and understanding that you're going to be gaining from this particular journey in this year. The experience you gain is going to evolve your essence, and your judgments will be much more merciful to yourself and towards others, whatever that means to you. There is this, you've created this sort of like, excuse me, a perpetual echo of sort of abundance and success. I feel, again, coming back to this understanding. That's an interesting download for you guys, Pawan. Beautiful. Okay, so let's get into these energies underneath here being either clarifiers and or subconscious energies, things that we don't see. We have power, which is strength in the reverse. Then we have accelerated motion, Eight of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, which you have that Eight of Wands over there. Yeah, so this is what I mean. Like this is the let's go first. Sorry. Sorry about one. Intuition, High Priestess. Two major arcana already. So my lovelies, exactly what I am energetically picking up from that first row of tarot cards here. There's something about you having to alter the way that you use your power. Moving forward in this new trajectory of who you are. That's what I'm getting. There's like we said, there's a definite slowdown energy. There is still a recognition of what you already hone within yourself, that deep knowing, that understanding here, that clarity of where you want to go will be developing, but that's changing. And so I think that's why what you might be thinking of where you want to go may not be where you end up, because something is shifting for you, Pawan. So the pause is needed. Excuse me. Obstacles and challenges. Speaking of, pause is needed. Yeah, there's a new path emerging, but I don't know how to describe what I'm really feeling here. I think that they're giving me two perspectives. I feel like you might feel like there's like a gap or a distance or an isolation of sorts at some point that makes you feel like, what was all of this about then? Like it makes you doubt for a moment. And I really feel like is Spirit saying, like, you are all of this, you've already done all of this, and now we are just asking for you to wait for a moment, almost sort of to feel like to catch up, so that we can be of more useful, beneficial aid to your life, in your ascension, in your growth. But you have to overcome some of these obstacles that might be jarring for you because of where you've come from. That's more specifically what I'm getting. That's interesting. Let's see this last one here. Yeah, heartache and loss. Interesting. Yeah, that Three of Swords energy. Like, that's what's underneath here. This is, you know, like this challenge here is this new obstacle for you, or this new idea. How do I get through it? You're in your head about it, over the loss of what you had, but it's not really a loss, it's just a change or transition. This is ultimately, you know, where you're heading to with that Wheel of Fortune energy. It feels like a good, like I said, like, nobody's year is going to be full of, well, I'm assuming, I'm not trying to predict nobody's year, like, but generally our years are not just straightforward. You know, there's going to be bumps, and this is a particular bump for you. And this is not a trajectory of like beginning, middle, and end of your year. It feels like I said, an overall theme. So this is what you're contending with, and that's why I said in the beginning, initially this is maybe what you're dealing with. And when I said the 369, maybe this is the first 3 months of your 2025, you know, and you get past that energy. That's obviously at some point. What do we see here? Movement, choices, and decisions. Two of Wands. Now we have the Two of Wands in the upright. How perfect, right? Exactly. Being in the reverse here. Like, this is very, very fitting for you, my loves. Like, when you get this same cards, different energy flipped, and we're talking about unconscious, unseen, and where we're going on impulse, creative energy, creative insight, creative action even, and then all of a sudden we get halted and we're like, what the frick? What the heck was I doing then? And then Spirit's just like, this is just what you're not seeing yet. You're just moving a little bit too quickly for it to fully be integrated for you. So it's gonna feel like obstacles. However, there doesn't feel like there are. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't feel like there really is. It's just a matter of where your perspective lands, and I guess the clarity or truth, yeah, the clarity of what your plan might be moving forward when it comes to this new energy once it's integrated. But you have to wait for that integration is really what I'm getting. That's beautiful. I love that for you, Paul 1. So let's close off your messages with three tea leaf cards. We have Ram, a stubborn, aggressive person. I think that might be you, Paul 1. I think you might be the one that's a little bit stubborn right now. Then we have the Moon. Yep, changes in your life. Abso-freaking-lutely. And then we have Table. Hard work ahead. Fair enough. Fair enough, right? So, relax. What song does it? Relax, don't do it. Da, 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 da. I don't know, that song just came into my head, so don't even know the lyrics of that song. However, that's what came in. And again, this could be, you know, an actual Taurus person. You could have those Taurus traits. That could be just an extra element for you. But I think it's more specifically your aggression is in like the creative aggressiveness to go towards what you want, or where you came from, or using that riding that wave, as they say, you know. And the stubbornness is about you sort of semi being blinded to the pause that is needed, or for you to maneuver the flow that you're in a productive way that doesn't, you know, keep you too long stuck in your head. Hard work is ahead for sure, because it's a divert. No, it's not even a detour. It's just it's an alternative route. That's all it is, an alternative route. I love that for you, Pile 1, my beautiful collective Pile 1. I hope that served you. And I'm sending you so much love. Please let me know how you're doing and how your holidays were. Sending the most amount of love. Ciao. Hello, my beautiful Pile 2s. All right, my loves. This is the spread, and these are your cards. This section over here is going to give us pretty much the theme of your energies of 2025. I'm intending to use these as the bridge into how to get to what Spirit's asking of you or to look out for. And The bottom row here, we're either going to use and or as, I should say. I'm going to use the bottom row and or clarifiers, subconscious energies, things unseen. In that respect, we'll use. And then we'll get some closing messages, of course, for you. All right, my beautiful collective, let's see what Spirit has to say. There's an interesting calm I just got as I was just about to start all of this. Like, it felt like my energy went slow down. That's just what this felt like. Interesting. So you have Pallas Athena. Number 48, it says, Pallas Athena is known as the goddess of truth and wisdom. She is Lord of Karma for the fourth right and holds the sword of truth to show humanity the way. Although she wields her sword for the highest ideals and divine truth, she prefers to use wisdom to settle disputes. Your guidance is to follow her example. See the higher perspective in all areas of conflict. Draw on your abundance of wisdom and tact to communicate with everyone concerned, and use the sword of truth to point the divine way forward. Your affirmation: I use the sword of truth to lead the way. So my lovely collective of pile 2, it seems for you that that is really going to be your focus, a really true sense of justice and truth, honesty, clarity, authenticity, autonomy, sovereignty. And I'm also hearing affection. That's interesting. So I'm curious if Spirit's talking about sort of the work that you might be doing or the energy that you will also be embodying too, meaning there's a deeper sense of truth within you, or you're living more authentically through your truth. I'm getting both aspects or all of the above. And then we have spaciousness. It says, what do I no longer need? Help me, God, to release whatever people, places, or things drain my vital essence. Show me what will fill me with enthusiasm and joy. So I feel like you're leaving space for everybody's truth. However, there is a clear sense of possibly for you learning about a more clear sense of discernment for, I'm getting more like a time frame of what you entertain, of the types of energies that you allow to continue engaging with. There's something about that in here for sure. That's interesting. Yeah, it's like, it's that phrasing I've been using a lot for myself. Is it worth disrupting my peace? You know, and there's something about that, and that justice is and truth is all the same for you, meaning that that same wisdom and truth and tact and abundance and, as I said, affection you would be giving out, their Spirit's asking you to give it to yourself as well. That's an interesting feeling here, because there's a spaciousness like where you're allowing space for people to be, but at the same time you have to create the space for you to be also, and that does require a boundary and a clear sense of discernment without you feeling guilty. Interesting. All right, pile 2. These cards here are the bridge. I am not super proficient in this deck yet, so I'm just going to use them as the cards are described, so to speak, meaning like just the definition as your bridge to get into the energies that you may encounter. We have the Passover. It is a water card. And it says, a spiritual issue is arising for you. It could concern the belief you were brought up in or a cultural background. You may need to find a way to keep faith with the essence of that, while also embracing a new understanding and a wilder perspective on the world. So this is both within and without, this Pallas Athena energy. You know, while they say like follow her examples, and as we were talking about that, creating that space of, you know, everybody's truth, and that includes your own. So however that might play out for you with this Passover energy here, a religious undertone, and also I'm getting like a passing over of information and also passing over things that don't apply to you. Possible meaning: the need to be careful, danger from your enemies, keep your own counsel unless you are sure of the person you are speaking to. gratitude, giving thanks for safe passage, protecting yourself and others. Yeah, my friend, this is like possibly like a spiritual war, so to speak, or metaphorically or literally. Can also be, oh my goodness, there's so many things happening in the world that this could be applicable for. So that all depends on the variation of your involvement. Pile 2. It's like these are like hard lessons for you to truly find the wisdom and the understanding within that creates a more sovereign sense of judgment or justice within. Let's see the other one. Another water card. Interesting. The Warrior. Number 7. Beautifully fitting. Another water card, of course. It says, you are fighting for what you want, but remember that a fight need not be a terrible struggle. The more accurately you act, the less wear and tear to yourself. Be ready to chop out dead wood and to keep only what is genuinely useful. This is no time for misplaced sentiments. Yes, my friend. This is what I'm talking about. That Passover energy, that spaciousness. That's what they're talking about. But that's what I was interpreting, so I'm just feeling validated. That's what you're getting right now. Excuse me. And of course, that like warrior energy for yourself. Being that warrior to create that for yourself. Like, again, that decisive... Yeah, a decisive sense of self. Possible meanings: a battle or conflict, trouble which must be faced, an opponent, discrimination, rigorous training, the need to act decisively. So, my lovely, Spirit is prepping you for this. And I think that's why I know why. This is why Pallas Athena is here. Especially when they're talking about see the higher perspective in all areas of conflict. Draw on your abundance of wisdom and tact to communicate with everyone concerned. And use the sword of truth to point the divine way forward. Keeping space for yourself, what no longer is helpful to you, what fills you with joy. Pass over those things. Embrace the other. Interesting. I love that. Okay. So we have the number 12, 3, 9, 7, 8, 4. Okay, my loves, let's see what the tarot has to add. We have the Two of Cups. The Ace of Cups. Cards are so pretty. New deck. The Sun, wow. Okay, pile 2. Okay, what I'm getting here, because there's such a beautiful sense of spaciousness, of openness here. Like an openness to connect, an openness for affection, as I said, as I heard in the beginning. Anyways, I said that too. A filling in, a filling up of one's cup. Being satiated. Being fully energized and nurtured and given to, you know, like there's a lot. There's like a lot of incoming energy is what I feel, and an output for sure, because there's so much overflow. So I guess this might be where they're asking you to be a little bit more decisive in your discernment. Because this, you know, this watery, open, loving, no boundary type of energy, and then it's shining so brightly with the sun, is very attractive, you know? On all aspects of energies, they will be attracted to that. So if you are not clear in that discernment and you're not seeing things from a higher perspective, I can see how this would be a lot, or it could overwhelm you or take you on a different spiral somewhere else. So what do I no longer need? You know, release the people, the places, things that drain your vital energy, your vital essence. Lead the way with the sword of truth. Let's see what else happens here. Yeah, the Ten of Wands. Yeah, like I said, it feels like too much. That's what it feels like. It's an overload. So it might be like, you know, a sense of like, this could play out in so many ways. It could play out like love bombing. It could play out like your like an addiction to something that's actually really good, but you get caught up in it, you know, and then it creates some sort of weird sense of ego. It could be something like that too. I don't really get that, but I'm just saying like it has so many variables. But what I'm really feeling the strongest here is like there's such an overwhelming sense of openness that you taking in all of that energy, like it's too much, is what I'm trying to get at. Like there's no like cutoff point for you to be like, okay, that enough's enough. Me giving out and me taking in, period. That's what this Ten of Wands feels like to me. And then we have the Hanged Man talking about perspectives, right? Pausing, taking a moment to reflect. A lot of Neptunian feeling energy here. So my lovely collective, a pile to what it feels like the the energies that are coming in for you for your 2025 are about you sort of, about you discerning where your boundaries actually lie. And that's really specifically, I feel, when it comes to specifically areas of conflict, but like emotionally where you land, emotionally where you begin, what you do in that process, and where you land. And I think that because you are such a giving, open, loving, bright energy and soul, a lot of people dump on you, good and bad. Doesn't matter if it's just, you know, it's just sometimes it's just overwhelming, and I don't think you have enough space for yourself, which is what this hangman energy feels like to me. That perspective, that pause, looking at it from a different angle now. Because of this overwhelm, you have to pause. Interesting. Let's split and pick a card. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, a decision, a decision has to be made. You have to balance out something because something doesn't, it's not really like working in the way that you thought it would or that it might. Let's continue pile two. I love this. Clarifiers, subconscious energies. Let's get it. Partnerships and alliances. There you go. Three of Pentacles, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna wait to say something. Then we have authority. Yeah, okay. The Emperor. And then we have the disruption, which is the Tower in the reverse. Perfect. I really, really think this is great. So this is what was trying to get at earlier, was there, like, again, this openness that you have. There wasn't an equal sort of partnership and alliances. It was just a dumping and then a dumping. There wasn't sort of like a negotiating time or consideration of other people's spaces in moments, you know? So, and that you allowed, you know? There was nothing necessarily wrong with it, but Spirit's like, you can't sustain that, is what they're talking about, especially for 2025, the energy's coming in. So you have to create that sense of authority within your boundaries, space that creates a nice harmony between your partners, your alliances, your conflicts per se. And that's what you do. And for me, the Tower in the reverse always is the, you doing the disrupting, you know, you coming in instead of Spirit having to come in to do it. You find that strength and you put a boundary up. You're like, and it's like I feel like it's a protector of your light. You know, and for the reasoning underneath, like why you end up choosing that is what I feel when we get to this like Hanged Man energy. Love that. And then we have Justice in the reverse with this balance. Yeah, because I don't think you find it yet. That's just what we're talking about here with the Two of Pentacles. That's what we're looking for, right? And three of major arcanas in a row. So yeah, there's a creation, there is a momentum to create the balance because it was out of balance. We understand this. And then the shadow, which is the moon. Beautiful. So that one can come, 4 major arcana in a row, lovely. So that one can come into emotional awareness of what one actually needs. And they're talking about this Neptunian, like I got a lot of Piscean energy here. That could be all water signs, but there's a lot of like deep diving, but how do I word it? It's not deep like Scorpio kind of deep in the sense of astrology, but like deep in the sense of what you're looking at might be a really simple issue, but how deep you go into your self-reflection of how you have contributed to it is what I'm getting at. There's a really beautiful, like, they're showing me like a mirage that gets focused, you know, that doesn't actually end up being an illusion. It's actually something that you saw, but you couldn't see it because of the distance, because of the haze, because of whatever the distractions were, everybody's energies that were on you that were creating that like extra film. So it's coming into focus. That's the best way I can describe what they're showing me. So there's this beautiful emotional enlightenment when it comes to who you are and how much you give and in the way that you give. It doesn't feel like you're going to like retract any of it. It's just going to be a matter of it's organized. It's more conducive for something that I can sustain and that I feel good, you know, not completely drained by the time all of these moments are done, you know, or things are spoken. Then we have the sacral chakra in the reverse. Fair enough? Fair enough? Because we're coming back to balance, right? If we're understanding where that creative spark is going to come from, or where we fill it up ourselves, you know, and it's really bringing me back to the sun energy, because it does feel like this is a beautiful depiction of it, don't get me wrong, but they're showing it to me almost as if people or energies trying to like hold it for themselves or to take it for themselves in a way, or hold on to it in a sense for warmth. Again, nothing wrong with, but for you it was like it was taking too much from you that you may not have recognized, or lately you've recognized, and you're like, this needs to shift a bit, because this is not going to be a good thing for me going down the line, and then it'll make me a grumpy person. That's not what I want to be. Wow, Pal 2. So those energies coming in for your 2025 are about you really more specifically than anybody else, but it's about how you deal with the conflicts, how your emotions handle what is presented to you, etc. Your discernment, what you choose to take and what you choose to pass over, the affection you give yourself and others, the authority you establish within yourself and with the people around you. It's beautiful. Very productive, emotional, evolved year for you, pal, too. Okay, let's get your closing messages. We have frying pan, trouble, accusations. Okay, this is what we're talking about, right? Conflicts, how we deal with all these conflicts. This is what you're figuring out. Makes absolute sense for you. Crown, honor and respect will come to you. Yes, because you end up creating that boundary, that authority. And then we have March. Beautiful. Talk about like a Piscean season. Well, you know, Pisces, Aries if you want, but I associate Pisces a lot with March more so than February. Regardless, that's changing of a season, you know? We're about to get into that time where things are beginning to melt, so to speak, when it comes to the Northern Hemisphere anyways. So anyway, my beautiful collective Pal 2, I hope this served you. And I hope it finds you well. I am sending you the most amount of love. Okay, my beautifuls, ciao. Welcome, my beautiful pile 3s. All right, my loves, this side over here is going to give us the major theme or the main theme of your 2025 year, the energies to anticipate possibly, or things to look out for, or what spirit wants you to embody. And these 2 cards here are a new deck for me that I'm not super proficient in to use it as it's intended, so I'm using it as their descriptors are, but they're going to be the bridge into, or how to get into the energies, or things to keep in mind as the energies unfold, etc. The bottom row here is going to be your clarifiers / unseen, unconscious, or subconscious energies. And yeah, we will figure out what spirit wants to say to you, my loves, starting with your first card, which is the gold and silver cloak. Number 26. You have chosen the card of perfect harmony. When you balance your wisdom and power, giving and receiving, your connection with hollow earth and the seventh heaven, it offers you the courage to love. This makes you magnetic to people, animals, and situations, so that you can attract all that is for your highest good. Your guidance is to bring yourself into harmony and balance, then visualize yourself wearing the gold and silver cloak, so that you draw in Angel Sonic to purify the energy around you. Expect the unexpected and miraculous. Affirmation: I am in total balance and harmony. The interesting thing is, pile 3, about your deck, your energies feel, as they say, like harmonious, but it was different. It was like a completely different frequency than pile 1 and pile 2. Pile 1 and pile 2 are not at all the same. However, there was just like a different, I don't know, there feels like a different jump for you guys, pile 3. Anyway, so what it feels like for you that Spirit's talking about is this energy of attraction, of magnetic attraction. I'm getting of a sense of internal peace, of creating that wherever you are present and within the things that you do and touch. There's a really sense of walking, like it's like a saunter, a stroll. Like there is this poise about you, a divinity about your presence, almost. Yeah, it is very regal in its presence. It's beautiful, what I'm visually seeing here. That's interesting. And then we have relationships, how fitting. When it comes about talking about being in harmony, of the giving and the receiving, the attraction, the magnetic attraction to people and animals, to attract your highest good. I feel like this is involved. I call in the infinite power of love to take over this union in every way. May it now fully belong to the divine. Let it unfold in the perfect way for each of us. I needn't fear letting go of control. My needs are always abundantly met. So my love, again, there's this sense of peace, of walking in calm and harmony, of a magnetic type of relationship, if you're in one or if you're not, whether that be with an animal, a person. There's something really beautiful about your tranquil frequency. It's amazing. Okay, let's see what this bridge here is for you. We have the Witness, which is a fire energy. I'm reading from the book for these guys. It says, uncover the flame of truth in your heart. Be ready to speak out even if you are opposed and even if you are not believed. Truth does speak to truth, and there will be a response even if you cannot detect it immediately. Acknowledge the viewpoints of others, though yours is not the only one. What are you witnessing? Of what will your life have spoken? Think about your contributions, not only today, but what it will mean for you after you're dead. Yeah, there's like I said, like this regality where you're looking over things, a perspective that might be higher than most people around you, a peace and a tranquility that comes with you, a power and a dignity, a grace is what I'm really getting here. And for you to allow yourself to stay in that, I think that's why they're like, visualize yourself wearing that gold and silver cloak. You know, bring those angelic, sonic purification energies around you. Expect miracles. Possible meanings: outspokenness, a court case, the need to testify the truth, confession, the opinion of others, your personal contributions, a voice that cannot be ignored. Interesting, pile 3. Let's see what the other one is. The skeleton. Dun, dun, dun. Number 5. And that is obviously an earth card, and it says, don't seek for novelty when you should be looking at the fundamental frameworks of your life. You may need to strengthen that structure. Just as a weakness in one bone can cause a fracture, and bring the whole body tumbling down. So any neglected air of your basic setup can likewise bring everything to a halt. The most mundane aspects of life also need their share of care and attention. Meanings, routine work, a call to look at the hidden form of things, not just at appearances. Attention to basics, a naked form of framework that must be clothed and cherished. Interesting. So if we're talking about balance and harmony and creating that within you in your relationship dynamics, just like, what are you witnessing that isn't in harmony? What has been in your closet? What skeletons are in your closet, or what things have not been brought up to light to look at? You know, that is what I think your year is going to be for 2025. It's about creating and finding that balance within, especially when it comes to your romantic relationships, but when it comes to anything in general that might be hidden from the self, from the psyche, or just not wanting to look at. A call to witness the self and the engagements of others with self. Interesting. Let's see what the tarot has to add. We have the Eight of Cups. The World. And Seven of Swords. This is such an interesting depiction of the Seven of Swords. Okay, so what I'm getting here, especially that gold and silver cloak. Okay, wow. So what I'm feeling here for you, especially initially at the beginning of this 2025 energetic year for you, it feels like you are discovering what it is that you actually need to walk away from, or what needs to be brought up to the light, what you need to walk towards. Again, revealing the skeleton, so to speak, in the closet. That opens up, again, a new perspective, but like a new world for you. And that opening up of that is, I feel, is going to be chaotic, is what I feel energetically speaking, more specifically, because it feels like you discover what I'm getting. This might be a little predictive, but it feels like you discover what has been keeping your light quelched. And that's not even the right word, but it seems like it almost got fooled. That's why I say quelched. Like, it almost got fooled that it got satisfied in the framework or foundation or environment that it was in, when it actually was sort of being manipulated to stay in a particular form. I hope that makes sense. And because they're bringing me these swords, the Seven of Swords feels like once like all of those swords hit like enough times, that thing's gonna just burst, and this light is just gonna over explode. You know, in the sense of this golden healing beam of love, you know, of grace, of confidence, of power, etc., etc., etc. That's what the Seven of Swords actually makes me feel like. So again, within that strategy, there was a strategy somehow to sort of keep you stifled without you actually knowing that you were being stifled. You were very satisfied is what I'm getting here. This is what the feeling is. It's not like something that you were complaining about prior. It's almost something that you discover while you look at things that have been hidden. Whatever that might mean for you moving forward, pile 3. Interesting. Let's see what else. We have the Queen of Cups. And then the Three of Cups. Interesting. So the Queen of Cups, again, is that beautifully emotionally mature, intelligent, feminine energy. And that Three of Cups, again, about reunion and celebrations of transformative energies too. So something inevitably is transforming, that's regardless. But I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so one of the very furthest in my, like, closest to my brain's example, to my tongue's example, is almost as if you're inviting in something. So I don't know if it's another person, if you end up going into like an open or swingers relationship, if you end up being in a poly kind of relationship, there's that kind of energy, absolutely. And then there's another sense of sort of choosing yourself, and that creates a better sense of support system around you, like better friend group is also what I'm feeling here. I'm not entirely sure what this Three of Cups, I'm going to get a clarifier, but what this Three of Cups is really symbolizing for that trajectory of where you land, because it still lands harmonious. It still lands in sort of this place of forgiveness and a sense of harmony, you know, with that 3. So again, this is, you know, it's going to play out as it plays out, but I'm still a little curious. Ooh, 3 of Swords. Okay, so maybe there is something here. I'm going to take one more. Maybe there is something here for you that you try to open up to, or maybe that's a part of the discovery that you're like, this is not what I actually want. You know, that's part of what I'm feeling here. It's not actually what I want, because it created a different kind of pain that I don't think that you were anticipating or expecting. So where does that lead, pile 3, Spirit? Into the Queen of Wands. Into your creative energy. I'm hearing a naked truth. That's what I just heard. You step into like this, a completely naked truth that you understand something. And that leads you somewhere for sure. Again, this is an energetic view of your 2025. It doesn't mean it's going to be your whole year. However, they're giving me for you 4 to 6 months, specifically for you, when it comes to these particular energies, is what I'm referencing here. Stepping into 2025. Interesting. They could be the 4th and 6th month. They just said that to me too, but I'm going to lean towards more the first of what I said. Anyway, let us get into the underlying energies, because I'm curious about what's underneath here. What we may not be able to see. Stand your ground, 7 of Wands. Yeah, my love, with the 8 of Cups. Okay. Passion ignited. Ace of Wands. And 6 of Pentacles, material and spiritual prosperity. So I do feel like you discover something, my friend, and I think that world energy is that discovery, like whatever that is, you found something. Whatever that ignited in you, however, is, I think, part of what like sort of bursts you open, this material and spiritual prosperity. I don't know where the material is, but the material might be in like the sense of your practical life, your everyday life, more specifically than if you're thinking about money. I don't think it's like that kind of material per se. But there's something about you needing to stay strong in whatever it is that you find. That's what I'm getting for sure. And then Destiny. Yeah, this is, I get that. I feel like this was sort of like meant to happen. It sort of had to unfold the way that it did for you to sort of step into this golden cloak of yourself, this harmonic balance within you. And you to fully belong or step into that divine energy, you know? And then that triumph and success, Ace of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, because you're unsure now, like because of all of this. It's like what you thought might have been true for you is not actually the truth of what either has been going on or what you end up feeling like, what you discover or feel like at the end. You know, there's movement for sure. The Chariot at the bottom of the deck. Like there is a moving away from something for sure and moving towards another thing that feels more right. A better foundation, the 4 of Wands in the reverse. Foundations and achievements. Yeah, because like something gets rocked for sure. An emotional loss. Yeah, there's, again, my lovely, there's something about relationships here, finding a better harmony within whatever it is that goes on for your 2025 year. There is definitely a rejigging, a recalibrating of environments, possibly material assets, spiritual insights for sure. There's a sense of coming into one's power, especially when it comes to the feminine energy and whatever this dynamic is. Wow, pile 3, yeah. Like beautiful self-revelations and dynamic revelations is what I'm also getting. But that, again, not without strife, but it leads you into clarity, I find. You know, like it'll bring you back to a place of what exactly, again, these skeletons in the closet, what you've witnessed, how you bring yourself back into this harmony. You know, it's like when you're balancing that wisdom with your power, the giving and the receiving of your connections. So that you can, you know, really pay attention to what benefits you. You know, to the need to let go of control, the fear of things not being provided for, that your needs are always abundantly met. All right, my lovelies, let's get your closing energies. We have casket, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. Shit, fuck. I don't make this shit up. I'm sorry about that. Like, I don't feel this is necessarily a death. Obviously, it can be. There's so many crazy things that's happening. This can be, of course, a part of 2025 years. Somebody may pass, but I also am feeling more specific when it comes to your situation. Like, something is ending for sure. Then we have candle. You will be shown the way. Beautiful. You will be shown the way, and that's that spark, that idea, whatever that is, that divine download. And then heart, love, deep affection, and caring. I love that. That's exactly where you need to end up. And that's the heart of self, you know, love, deep affection for self, and the caring. And I think it's about your environment, the friends and the people around you possibly that are there to help you find your own, or to stay in your own truth, to stand in your ground. You know, because it is going to be a difficult wait for you to find that balance and harmony within whatever's been going on or whatever will go on for 2025 for you, my pile threes. My goodness, this was beautiful. At least it gave you a heads up as to what spirit is wanting you to remind yourself of, to cloak yourself in that gold and silver cloak. I think that's going to be really vital for you, pile three, especially in these moments of turmoil. Or of uncertainty at the very least. Okay, my beautiful collective, I hope these served you. I'm sending you the most amount of love. Until next time, ciao.